Hello everyone, welcome to the Ozark Outpost. This is Global War 85, Operation Pershing, U.S. Global Command 10.4. Okay, first order of business is repair. There's a battleship in port at this major shipyard that is undergoing repairs and refit. Okay, look at that. I got to thinking about what I was going to do and didn't put the heck dice out. That happens. Okay, so there's PGM. We're going to have 2 dice on SDI again. And then, well, this one we'll know is Advanced Airborne, because it's at the bottom of the stack. Everybody missed. Might have to have a congressional investigation about corruption and possibly communist spies over there at the Interior Department die rolling agency. All right. The Soviets still hold Shiraz, so 1 die to roll for theater release authorization. 11, there it is, they hit it. Whoop, 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 whoop. They hit it. Get a couple of Soviet roundels here. And let's come over here. The Americans are now released for battlefield nukes and theater-wide nuclear weapons against the Soviets. So we've got an attack bomber and a theater missile and a B-1 bomber to put on the map. So let's come over here. I don't think it's really going to matter a whole bunch. We will put the B-1 here in Northeast United States. We will put the attack bomber also here in Northeast United States. And the theater missile. Okay, those guys are in place. Take that off there. Now, purchase. Oh, military aid. We're going to send NATO another attack bomber for 11. That's why it's a chip. And then we're going to spend 5 to lay down a cruiser. Spending 14 on a pair of MBTs and an attack chopper. Spending 18. No, that can't be right. Take that off, because that's not right. Because those are 6 apiece. So 2 next-gen MBTs and artillery adds up to 18. And then the remaining 12 on a pair of SSNs. That's the purchase. All right, combat. All right, all the ASW forces from I-11 shift over to I-7 to attack the Soviet subs. All the same profile as before. The SSN, well, not quite the same. The SSN is not joining him this time. He's going back up here to I-6 to join the fleet card. And the SSN and the cruiser are each shooting a cruise missile, 1-2 into Baghdad in surgical strike. The B-52 from Diego Garcia also flies to I-6. It shoots 2 more cruise missiles into Baghdad into surgical strike for a total of 4. And as you see, there are no SAMs in Baghdad, so no missile defense. And then the MBT and the 2 fighters in Basra are attacking into Shiraz. The Marine from UAE got on the amphib in I-6. He is also joining the attack, as well as the 2 fighters from Basra, the fighter from Makkah, the Navy fighter and the Navy attack bomber from I-6. Those are all attacking Shiraz. Okay, then come over here to the Atlantic. You see we have quite the force here trying to hunt down this SSGN. 2 P3s, frigate, which is providing sub-detection for the S3, and an ASW chopper. And then the squadron that was here has come up here to A3 to attack this SSGN that's trying to break into the Atlantic. And then, I didn't get a marker over there, but that's okay. In Benelux, we are going to have another surgical strike with carpet bombing. Warsaw Pact, Soviets, neither one have anything within range to scramble into Benelux. So it's just going to be the F-117, the A-10, and the B-50, these 2 on surgical strike with SpySat, so they're at full value, and the B-52 carpet bombing. There is a SAM there for air defense. We'll just have to see what happens. And well, actually, now that we're released for battlefield nukes, the F-117, well, we're not released against Warsaw Pact, though. Were released against the Soviets. So, never mind. No battlefield nukes against Warsaw Pact. Oh, no, that's not true. We can use well, we're not defending, though. It says the Americans can use battlefield nukes to defend NATO home country. But we're not defending, we're attacking. So I don't think they can. If I've got that wrong, somebody set me straight. But yeah, I don't think it's possible. And I just realized there's a couple of attack choppers sitting down there in East Mexico that I have forgotten about. We'll have to get them moved. Okay, so the action in I-7 first. So we have a frigate at 2, miss. We have a destroyer at 4, miss. We have 2 S3s at 4. Okay, there is 1 hit. And Yes, 3, 2 is a sub-target select. So they can put this hit on the SSN, which they will do. And then the fighter, well, we didn't do the attack, yeah. The fighter is at 3. That's a miss. And then there's 3 ASW choppers also at 3. Okay, there is 1 general hit. So, the SSN and 1 diesel boat are going to fire back. Diesel boat. There is a hit. SSN. There is another hit. Okay, so here we go. The SSN is killed. 1 diesel boat is killed. Now they got 2 hits in defense that are going to have to be taken on the destroyer and the frigate. And then the other 2 diesel boats are going on silent running. Okay, that's it for that one. All right, now we will do Shiraz. There's no first strike for anybody. There is mountain penalty for the MBT that is attacking and for the Marine. So the MBT will be at 3 and the Marine will be at 2. So here's a Marine at 2, miss. MBT at 3, miss. Get that one out of there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 fighters at 6. There is 3 hits. 2 is all that was needed. There is 3. The attack bomber is going to roll just because it gets an extra hit. So plenty of hits to kill the 2 MBTs. They defend for 1 hit in return. All right. These guys are off here. Remove that roundel. And let's get an American flag on Shiraz. So that is Soviets down 1 to 44. Americans up 1 to 59. And now we go to the surgical strike in Baghdad. No missile defense. 4 missiles coming in hot. Coming in hot. Four missiles coming in hot for 1 hit. That, to no one's surprise, the Soviets are going to take on the SRBM. So there's that. All right, now we'll head over this way, and I'm going to use the auxiliary dice tray again. I should have been doing this before, I just didn't. Okay, so let's move this up here out of the way so we can put the dice tray right here. Actually, put the dice tray right there, and you can kind of sort of see everything. All right, so first up, we have a frigate and two P3s all rolling at 2. There is the hit. And we will go ahead and let the chopper have its roll and the Viking just because. Okay, there's 2 hits to kill 1 sub. So the SSGN defends at 4 and missed with a 10. So no damage there. The SSGN is kaput. All right, now we have up here frigate at 2, miss. Chopper at 3, miss. Destroyer at 4, miss. The SSGN, to no one's surprise, will go on silent running. So there's that. All right, now surgical strike. So we have 3 air defense shots by Warsaw Pact. Look at that, they got 2 hits. Holy dog shit. Can you see both of those? There's 2 ones there. All right. Well, drag nabbit. Obviously, you're going to kill the A-10 because it's the cheapest. And I think you're going to keep the stealth. I think you're going to keep the stealth because it's the most versatile. We don't have that many cruise missiles, and carpet bombing is pretty hit or miss. So the stealth takes its shot at full value with spy satellite support and misses with an 11. Now that was costly, to say the least. Okay, as long as I'm here in non-combat movement, the F-117 lands back in southern England. Let me get this stuff out of my hand from the casualty pile, and we will continue with non-combat movement. All right, what do we got here? We've got 2 next-gen MBTs, an MBT, and a SAM for a total of 4 units, which can all land in Picardy because we have 4 units worth of port capacity. So I'll chip this stuff out off camera. Let's just get them in here for right now. There we go. That's that. Hey, I forgot a combat, because there's a marker for it. This MBT no. Changed mind. Forget that. That's not happening. Never mind. Okay, now we shift over this way. This battleship And these two frigates move over here to A26. Right like that. And then we've got 2 artillery, 2 MBTs, and a theater missile, 5 units. We can send a total of 6 out of these shipyards. So these 5 units come over here, trooping across the Atlantic in sea lift. Right like that. We are going to rebase this attack bomber and the B-1. Yeah, we can do that because he's battlefield marks. They are going to the major air base that can be used by the U.S. in southern England. So there they are right there. And over here, because the threat has been reduced, well, let's get the B-52 out of the way first. He lands back at Diego Garcia. Because the threat here is reduced, the fighter is going to return to the supercarrier. So put him back on there, and then the attack bomber flies back from Shiraz, lands on the supercarrier. The Harrier flies back from Shiraz, lands on the amphib. And that's that. Over here, these 2 MBTs are moving into Basra. So they go on the card. One of these light infantries is going to airlift from Suez to Macau, and then another is going to, because we used 5 sea lifts over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we have 1 left. So 1 light infantry is going to sea lift here across the Red Sea. So that puts 2 light infantries into Macau. Leaving 1 in Suez. This light infantry from eastern Saudi is going to move up 1 to northern Saudi. That's it there. Now I got to go back over here for these attack choppers I keep forgetting about sitting here in eastern Mexico. There is a minor airbase there for a movement bonus. So they are going to go 1, 2, 3 from eastern Mexico over here to northeast United States. There we are. And the SRBM in Western France. He's going to move up to Picardy. I'll have to get a card going for that. I think that's going to be it for non-combat. I don't think there's anything left to move. All right, so now we're placing some units. So let's collect some stuff up here. As I walk past it, I'm putting the cruiser in the stage 2 box on the build chart. And 2 next-gen MBTs and an artillery go here in Northeast United States. 2 SSNs go out here in A24. And since we're in the end of turn phase, the battleship here has completed its repairs. Okay, now we come over here. We've got an attack chopper and 2 MBTs going into Macaw. There we go. That's it for placing units. So now let's deliver our aid. The attack bomber is going into Paris, where there are now 3 of them. They've built their little force back up a little bit. Next, we roll for aid to Pacific Command. And that is the maximum of 6. Okay, US is at 59, plus 8 is 67, minus the 6 is 61, minus 2 for the deactivated tanker in I-1 puts them at 59. There we go. And then missiles. 4 cruise missiles are shot, 4 built. Plus 2 anti-ship. Plus 2 Tomahawk. Ozark Outpost. Over and out.